DeepSeek just challenged Claude Code, but this time, it's not with another AI model. DeepSeek has released something much bigger, DeepSeek Harness, and this could change how we build AI coding agents. Because DeepSeek isn't just saying, here's another model, go chat with it. They're opening up the system that turns an AI model into an actual agent. And here's the crazy part. DeepSeek Harness can even delegate work to Claude Code and Codex. So what exactly did DeepSeek build? And why are developers comparing it with Claude Code? Let's break it down.
First, forget the complicated technical words for a second. Think about an AI model as the brain. The model can understand a request. It can write code. It can reason. But a brain alone can't really work on your computer. It needs access to your files. It needs a terminal. It needs tools. It needs a way to remember what's happening. And it needs a system that decides, what should I do next? That's what the harness is for. DeepSeek's basic idea is simple. Agent equals model plus harness. The model gives you intelligence. The harness gives that intelligence a working environment. And that difference is extremely important. Because the future of AI isn't just about models answering questions. It's about models actually completing tasks. Now here's where DeepSeek gets interesting. DeepSeek Harness is open source and MIT licensed, and its architecture is designed around plugins. Basically, almost everything can be swapped. Models, tools, sessions, sandboxes, storage, scheduling, even parts of the user experience. So imagine you've built an AI coding agent. Today, you're using one model. Tomorrow, you want another model. You want a different tool, a different sandbox, a different workflow. Instead of rebuilding the whole system, you can change the pieces. That's the big idea behind DeepSeek Harness. It's less like buying a finished car and more like getting a customizable engine platform. And this is where the Claude Code story gets really interesting. DeepSeek Harness has first-party subagent integrations for Claude Code and Codex. Think about that. DeepSeek isn't simply saying, use our AI instead of Claude. It's saying you can use Claude Code as one of the workers inside the system. A parent agent can give Claude Code a specific task. Claude works inside the same workspace, it finishes that task, and the result comes back to the parent agent. That's not a normal chatbot. That's agent orchestration, and it opens up a very different way of thinking about AI coding. You don't necessarily need one AI to do everything. You can have different agents handling different jobs. One for research, one for coding, one for testing, one for debugging. And the harness coordinates the whole process. But there's another feature that developers are going to care about: traceability. DeepSeek Harness can keep track of what happened during an agent run, what the model saw, which tools it called, what those tools returned, what happened during the session, and what the agent ultimately produced. Why does that matter? Because AI agents can be difficult to debug. Imagine your coding agent makes a wrong change. You don't just want to know something went wrong. You want to know why. Which step caused it? Which tool produced the bad information? What did the model actually see? With traceable sessions, you can inspect what happened instead of treating the AI like a black box. And DeepSeek supports workflows around resuming, forking, searching, and replaying sessions. And DeepSeek didn't build just one way to use the harness. There are different runtime approaches for different jobs. You can use a full coding agent workflow with tools for files, shells, search, planning, and subagents. There's also a code-oriented mode where the model can use a TypeScript program to combine multiple operations. And there are lighter environments for simpler experiments and custom agent building. This is important because not every AI task needs a giant autonomous agent. Sometimes you want full automation. Sometimes you want strict control. Sometimes you just need a model and a few tools. A modular harness lets the developer decide how much autonomy the AI gets, and that could become extremely important as agents become more powerful. So is DeepSeek Harness actually better than Claude Code? That question is a little misleading because the two systems are approaching the problem differently. Claude Code is a finished, opinionated coding product. DeepSeek Harness is much closer to an open agent platform that you assemble and customize. Claude Code gives you a polished experience. DeepSeek gives you more control. And that means the winner depends on what you actually want. If you just want an AI coding agent that works out of the box, a mature product has a huge advantage. But if you're a developer who wants to build your own agent system, the open architecture becomes much more interesting. And this is what I think is the most important part. The AI industry spent years asking which model is smartest. Now, the question is changing. Which agent can actually get the job done? Because an incredible model is useless if it can't access the right tools. And a powerful coding model becomes much more useful when it can read your project, edit your files, run commands, delegate tasks, test the result, and recover from mistakes. That's the harness layer. And DeepSeek has made that layer open. Not just the model, the infrastructure around the model. The plugins, the sessions, the tools, the subagents, the workflows, the orchestration. And that could be much bigger than another benchmark score.